Welcome back to the second hour of the Dennis Herrera Show, and we are excited to come back. Some of you have already seen my post from earlier today, after I went to pick up my wife, went to this nice Mexican restaurant where I love to go and eat. And yes, that's right. For some of you leftist people out there that think that I don't wear my MAGA hat outside of my studio here slash home, you guys, well, now you can see the truth. With that being said, Omar in the house. Omar, you're the first one here to come and visit me. Thank you for that. Let me make sure that I got my monitor in here is going the right way. I like that little introduction. I like that introduction song. It is fantastic. Let's see, who do we have on the portrait mode? Portrait mode. Who do we got in portrait? Let's see here. It should be both. One is portrait and one is the landscape mode. Yep, as usual, all my members and subscribers that support my channel are over here on the portrait mode. Hey, Cray Miss. Cray Miss is the first one here on portrait mode. Robert, welcome back, sir. Welcome back. Jason, my general, welcome back. You know what, Jason? A lot of people have promised to have my back and, to be with me and continue to fight. And, life has taught me that not everybody sticks around with you, at least not long enough so that you can consider them real friends. But I got to say, I have a good amount of people in here that do meet my criteria as family and friends. And you know what? I even right now, there's some members that I have spoken to personally that have already backed out on their commitment. You know what? It doesn't matter how long you guys support me for. Thank you for as long as you can support me. I appreciate it. So I don't want you guys to feel bad if at some point you can't do it anymore. All right? So don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm good. Tanya, welcome back, sis. I see you. I see you. I see you. Let's see. XK is coming over here pretending to be a MAGA supporter. XK likes to pretend that he is a MAGA supporter. But I think from the last interactions that we've had, I think I know better. Just saying. I don't forget. I watch everything everybody does, especially to me. With that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and continue and finish the, let me make sure I give my video a like. If you haven't done that as you're coming in here, don't be shy and hit the like button or double tap that screen if you are on a mobile device. All right, if you are enjoying the big screen, we ended up this afternoon, before I went to go pick up the wifey, we ended up on the question part of J.D. Vance at Turning Point USA giving a speech, and that's what we're going to pick up right now. So here we go.
My name is Hope. I have a serious question and then a fun question.
Okay.
So your serious question is, when you were growing up, who was your voice/influencer that helped you see your conservative views? And then for now, who can we look at as an influencer or like a voice?
Okay, so that's very interesting. So, when I was a kid and I was kind of developing my politics, there was actually a radio host, a guy who founded this organization called Focus on the Family, James Dobson, who was really influential to me. And he was just, he was a good Christian guy. He talked about the family. He talked about things I cared a lot about. And I came from a broken home. So when he talked about the ways in which a broken home had a negative effect on kids, it made sense to me because I was seeing it in my own life. And then here was a guy who was actually talking about it. And what I liked about him is that he didn't talk about it in this judgmental way, right? He wasn't attacking a kid like me who didn't have everything handed to him. He was just explaining in a very real world with a fundamentally Christian underpinning. Here's what happens when things are broken. And when you ask who are some of the conservative influencers or the political influencers today, there are a few people that I look to who I think have very, very smart and wise spiritual wisdom. I mean, I think Andrew and Blake and the podcast that they have at TPUSA is amazing. I listen to it all the time. I think it's great. I think if you want a good laugh, I love Theo Vaughn. Like, he's one of my favorite. I think he's just incredible. And he's got one of these senses of humor where 30% of the time it goes completely over my head, and 70% of the time he's the funniest person imaginable. But I think Theo has a good heart, and that's one of the reasons why I really like listening to his show. And then just in terms of pure politics, of course you should be listening to the Vice President of these United States. Thank you.
And then my fun question is, if you could have a free day with 0 responsibilities, what would your day look like?
Oh, that's a good question. And honestly, I would add not just 0 responsibilities, but total anonymity. Because the thing that I love this job. It's very cool. I'm very honored to have it. But what I really want to do, honestly, is take Usha and the 3 kids and just walk to a local cafe, eat a ton of pancakes, and then take the kids to the zoo without anybody knowing who the hell I am. That's what I would do if I had a day.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's a very nice question. All right, hi JD. My name is Jacob, and I'm also from Cincinnati. So I get you. I'm with you there on the zoo. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
so.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Anyway, my question is that there's a lot of division within our country right now, from right to left and everybody in between. And leading up to the 2024 election and Charlie's death, I found that Charlie was definitely the glue that held at least the conservative movement together.
Right.
And since he has passed, there's been a lot of division within our conservative movement, and especially with the 2026 midterms and the 2028 election coming up. How do you think the conservative movement can be united? And if there is a who do you think that could be?
Well, that's a very good question. And look, man, I agree with you. I think part of the division is Charlie's death, because Charlie, as Andrew knows well, and a lot of this was behind the scenes, Charlie was the guy who was talking to different segments of the movement, right? So, I mean, just this Iran thing. Charlie would be the guy who was talking to the people who really wanted to go to war with Iran and the people who really didn't want to go to war with Iran. And he would try to find ways for those guys to work together, even if they disagreed over one issue, right? And so Charlie's absence is a huge thing. And my answer to your question is, who replaces Charlie Kirk? I think it's going to be a combination of people. I think Andrew's got a role. I've got a role. You guys have got a role. And I think the most important thing to remember about how Charlie thought about this is he always recognized what was the goal and who was the real problem. The real problem is not a person who disagrees with you about this or that foreign policy or domestic policy issue. The real problem is the person who killed our friend and anybody who defended the people who killed our friend. And we got to keep our eye on the ball and recognize that those who want to kill conservatives because they have the wrong viewpoints, we need to defeat those people. We need to unite with each other and actually fight together to defeat the real enemy that's out there. That's the most important message. And I'll also give you, one of the reasons why I'm optimistic about this is, even when Charlie was alive, you saw some of these divisions starting to bubble to the surface, okay? And I remember, Charlie died in September of 2025. I hadn't been vice president. I'd been vice president for all of 8 months when Charlie lost his life to an assassin's gun. One thing that makes people in politics sort of divide against each other is just being in power, right? When you have control of the House, the Senate, the White House, and there's not an election around the horizon, it's very easy to forget what your goal is. Well, starting in a few months, we're going to have primaries that are over, we're going to have candidates on the ballot, and we're all going to need to get out there and work hard, because the people who want to kill Donald Trump, the people who want to throw Donald Trump in prison, the people who murdered our friend, and then the people who celebrated it afterwards, those people are trying to achieve political power. We cannot let them, and we have to unite to make sure that doesn't happen.
Amen. Thank you, JD.
Good evening, Mr. Vice President. Thank you for taking the time to come out here. My name is Dane Hoff. I'm originally from the great state of Arizona and proudly voted for you and Donald J. Trump in November 2024.
There we go.
And my question is that many people believe the midterms are already gone for us. I disagree. So what is the game plan to win the midterms, and what's the strategy to maintain the coalitions Trump won in 24?
So number one is, I totally agree with you. The idea that midterms are gone is preposterous. And if you go back to 2018 and you look at the polling picture in 2018, that was Trump's first term. And what it showed is that Republicans were getting crushed in the generic ballot by 10, 11, 12 points. The worst polls right now, the worst polls, not all of them, the worst polls have us down by 5 or 6 points, okay? And what happened in 2018 is that as we got closer to the election, and again, the right kind of unified in the face of an election campaign, what happened is those margins narrowed, and the Republican Party did much better than expected in 2018. It wasn't a great election by any means, but the idea that this is done now, it's ridiculous, and frankly, it's cynical, pessimistic garbage pushed by people who want us to completely give up. Don't give up. We got to keep on fighting. That's the fundamental and most important thing, is the people telling you to give up on the midterms are the people who want us to lose the midterms. Don't listen to them. But what's the game plan? You asked what the game plan is. So I'll give you a little good news and a little bad news on that, because the bad news and the good news about the modern Congress is, whether you agree with this or not, the districts are so gerrymandered, there aren't that many battleground congressional districts left. Like if you go back to 2014, where I think Republicans won like 80 seats in the House, that's not going to happen. Elections like that don't happen anymore. So what we got to fight is 20 or 30 districts where there's actually some real competition in those districts. We got to put a lot of resources. We got to knock on a lot of doors. We got to get out the marginal Trump voter. Because one of the things we saw in 2024 is a lot of our voters, they're dedicated, they love the president, they don't show up in midterm elections. So we got to knock on as many doors and make sure those people get out and vote. We have a game plan, but the House is going to be determined by 20 or 30 seats. We just got to win as many of those as possible. And yes, we can win the midterms in 2026.
Thank you.
And we should say what's happening in Virginia, you know?
Exactly. I mean, and then this is the thing. Democrats always overreact. They always overreach. They always do crazy things. And there are districts where, you know, MSNBC will say, well, this district, you know, Donald Trump won it by 20 points, and then, you know, this guy only won it by 12 points. That means everything's terrible. You look in Virginia or look at some of these other places where, you know, Kamala Harris won it by 4 points, and now Republicans are winning by a few points. There's a lot of reason to think that we have a good chance here. We just got to keep on working at it. Sorry, next question.
And the redistricting, make sure if you're watching in Virginia.
Yes. Yeah, sorry. Virginia, vote against the Obama-Spangenberger redistricting plan.
Yep.
Vote against it. And frankly, the polls are moving in our direction a little bit. We just got to get out there and defeat that ballot measure.
Hi, Mr. Vice President. Thank you so much for being here. It's truly incredible that you can come all across the world and then just be in Athens. So my question, not to sound pessimistic, but my question revolves around Congress.
Sure.
And, you know, many Americans feel discouraged, even somewhat dissatisfied. You know, the executive sets out a plan. We know you want to do something, but Congress sometimes is just unable to deliver. And with, you know, the inability to keep the government open during shutdowns and all of that stuff, what are your thoughts? I know leaders such as Governor DeSantis have called on term limits for Congress members, balanced budget amendments, and banning stock trading. What do you think are just some practical measures that we can take to ensure Congress is delivering results to the American people?
Yeah, so great question. And I remember during the State of the Union address, when the president talked about banning members of Congress from trading stocks, I looked over at Nancy Pelosi and she was sitting in her chair like, and if you watch the State of the Union, I start laughing hysterically. It's because I looked over and saw the look on Nancy Pelosi's face. I think people don't have any idea how bad the corruption is in Washington, D.C. So yeah, I love the idea of term limits for Congress. You know what I love more? I love the idea of term limits for bureaucrats. Nobody in Washington, D.C. should be able to sit in a chair for 30 years, do your public service, and go back home and do something productive. Look, so much of what's broken about Congress really does go down to corruption. So, there's so many examples, let's say, of a congressman who got a classified briefing on COVID. It's like, oh, there's this crazy Wuhan flu that's floating around Wuhan, China. And again, at that point, like, everybody called it the Wuhan flu. And then you come out of that classified briefing and you buy a bunch of biotech stocks, or you buy a bunch of pharmaceutical stocks. Or maybe, you sell airline stocks because you know that the airlines aren't going to work that well if everybody's sort of sheltering in place and governments are shutting down the economy. That stuff should be illegal and you should go to prison for it. And if you just cut out the basic corruption, you'd solve a lot of the problem.
Thank you so much.
This will be the last question.
Okay. Can we take two more? Because I like it. I like answering questions. We'll take a couple more.
Hi, Mr. Vice President. Before I get to my question, I just want to, number one, thank you for your service to the United States military. And number two, welcome you to the greatest university in this country.
Thank you.
My question is, as somebody whose parents adopted 3 children from the foster care system and coming from a broken household yourself, we have seen different sides of a somewhat similar narrative. How would you respond to somebody who says that the only way to succeed in this country is to come from a generationally wealthy family?
That's a good question. Wow, I didn't expect that one. Well, first of all, it's just not true. And I think that one of the things that, a very powerful thing that somebody told me, is that, disadvantage and unfairness, it is true. Not everybody started at the exact same place. Some people were dealt a much worse hand than others. But what somebody, again, this person gave me a very good piece of advice and said, no matter what hand you were dealt, you have the responsibility to play it as well as you can. And I think that, for me at least, there was something empowering for me about recognizing that, yeah, my life wasn't as easy as most other kids. Like, I wasn't born with money. I wasn't born with parents who had connections. But I still had a responsibility to God. I had a responsibility to myself to play that hand as well as I possibly could. And that was very empowering to me. So I think first the message is, look at the stories. Look at Clarence Thomas. Look at all the people in the United States who have come from very humble beginnings and achieved great things. You can believe, as I do, that we have to do a lot better job by the young people of this country, while at the same time knowing that you are the master of your own destiny. Never give up on yourself, and never believe that you're a victim of circumstances, because when you believe that, you will be a victim of circumstances.
Thank you so much, and go Dogs.
She's
All right.
trolling you with that.
I know.
Hi, Mr. Vice President.
Hello.
My name is Esther. This is so cool. So I know, like, the whole H-1B thing you talked about, but I am also a daughter of a legal immigrant who came here on an H-1B visa.
Sure.
So my mom and my dad, we've been here for over 10 years. I was born here, well, more than over 10 years. I'm 20 years old. Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
That's okay. Take your time.
But, like, for people who have been here on H-1B visas, it's been really hard, like, getting the green card based on everything with quotas and everything. Like, my family, we're from India. The quotas are so bad, and they're still open, and they're taking the money. How do we fix the immigration system for people who have been waiting for the green cards for so long? And they're not getting it in time, because a lot of people don't know it, during the Biden administration, to get a green card, it would have taken my family 150 years to get a green card.
Sure.
So how is the Trump administration, like, trying to fix that for people who have been here, are paying taxes and doing a lot of stuff that citizens do, but they can't do a lot of things that citizens do? Like, we're also looking for the American dream. Like, my parents, they send me to private Catholic school, even though sometimes we used to live paycheck to paycheck. So how is the Trump administration going to fix that for, like, people like that?
Sure. So let me just offer a couple observations there. So one, I appreciate the question, and two, what I would say is, you heard me talk about H-1B fraud, because I think there is a lot of fraud in the H-1B system. And I think you can believe on the one hand that there's a lot of fraud in the H-1B system, while also believing that there are people who have come to the United States in the past who have enriched this country. And look, I'm married to the daughter of immigrants from India, and I love my in-laws, and they're great people, and they've been great contributors to the United States of America. But I also think that when you become an American citizen, whether your family has 9 generations of lineage in the United States or whether your family has 0 generations of lineage in the United States, one of the responsibilities that we must expect of citizens, and of course, it's always hard to talk in specifics about your situation because I don't know about it, but one of the obligations of citizens is that you have to think about the best interest of the country and not the country you came from beforehand and not of any sort of any group that you came from. You've got to think of yourself as an American. The system only works if everybody thinks of themselves as an American. I remember having this conversation with my father-in-law, who's an amazing guy, and and it was actually during a Senate event that I had done where I had somebody who came up to me, and I'm sure a great person, like a wonderful person. It was a Ukrainian American in Cleveland, Ohio. I was campaigning for the Senate. There are a lot of Ukrainian Americans in Cleveland, Ohio. And this person got really agitated at me because I was saying we should stop funding the Ukraine war, okay? And I still believe that, obviously, and it's one of the things I'm proudest that we've done as administration is we've told Europe that if you want to buy weapons, you can, but the United States is not buying weapons and sending them to Ukraine anymore. We're just out of that business. So a very good thing. But these Ukrainian American, again, a kind person, they probably didn't vote for me after this conversation, but he was kind of sticking his finger in my face saying, you need to support my country. You need to support my country. And I said, sir, with all due respect, if you're an American, your country is the United States of America, not a place that you immigrated from, whenever that was. And it occurred to me, and I know this is the last question, I'll try to be quick here, but it occurred to me that my father-in-law, who came from India, who moved to the United States, who got an education and became an American citizen, that never once in my life has he ever said, you have to do this or you should do this because it's in the best interest of the country that I came from. And I think that attitude, to the extent that attitude dominates among the new generation of Americans, that makes Americans feel welcoming towards people because everybody, again, whether your family's been here for 300 years or 1 second, to be an American means to look out for Americans first, and that's the perspective we have to take to our immigration policy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. We'll do one more. Sorry, real quick. I love this, but I got to go.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice President, and coming to UGA and allowing us to express our freedom of speech. So thank you so much. The First Lady said Epstein was not acting alone and had to be held accountable. She said and called for a congressional hearing, but President Trump multiple times called the files a hoax. The acting attorney general said Epstein shouldn't be a part of anything at the DOJ. If there are compromised government officials in those files, how can the public trust that this administration will hold anyone accountable when its own Justice Department is actively blocking the investigation? Given that, can you clearly articulate your stance on whether federal entities should have a formal investigation? Thank you.
Yeah. So first of all, you said the Associate Attorney General or something. I haven't seen that quote, but here's my view on the Epstein matter. Number one, the guy was clearly a scumbag, okay? Number two, he clearly had extraordinary connections both with intelligence services, both inside the United States and outside the United States, and also with a lot of very wealthy and powerful people, okay? Number three, I have been a firm advocate and will continue to be a firm advocate of where we have something, and you know, like, I'm probably more obsessed with this than most officials, okay? Probably more obsessed with this than most people even in this room, is when you see somebody who says something in an email that suggests, you know, there's one email I read, and it's been a little while ago, but it was talking about, you know, one person sent an email to Jeffrey Epstein saying, oh, there were some really nice, like, pizzas and grape sodas or something like that. And I remember it sounded like the Pizzagate conspiracy theory, but here it was in like an email from a guy. And my reaction to that was, we should absolutely investigate that person, okay? And, you remind me, I'm going to follow up on that to see whether we've investigated that person, because we should. We absolutely should. When you see evidence of sexual assault, sexual misconduct, regardless of whether you're powerful or not, in fact, you should probably investigate it more if you're a powerful person, right? I don't want powerful people, being involved in this disgusting behavior. But I have to defend the president on this, because when he said that it was a hoax, what he was talking about was this democratic idea that he's connected to Epstein. If you look at those emails, it's like, they were in the same, everybody in Palm Beach knew everybody, okay? Like the president has said, he knew Jeffrey Epstein and he was a scumbag. But what you see in those emails is that Jeffrey Epstein hated Donald Trump. And Donald Trump hated Jeffrey Epstein. In fact, one of the emails is about Donald Trump narking on Jeffrey Epstein to the local sheriff, saying, this guy's a scumbag. You should go and pick him up. So when the president says this is a hoax, he's not saying it's a hoax that Epstein was the scumbag. He's not saying that it's a hoax that Epstein was connected to powerful people. He's saying this democratic idea that somehow he was Epstein's best friend, that is a hoax. And if you look at the emails, it's obvious that Jeffrey Epstein hated Donald J. Trump. And by the way, one of the best signs for whether you're a good person or not, for whether you're a decent human being, is if the worst people in the world hate your guts. The fact that Jeffrey Epstein hates Donald J. Trump is a pretty good thing for Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, well, and I will say, by the way, just so you know, the DOJ, just before we got on stage, I guess I saw the news, has unredacted fully the 6 million documents, made it available to your congressmen and women. So put pressure on them to go give you a report of what they find. Mr.
Awesome.
Vice President, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
man. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And there you have it. That is the end of the J.D. Vance speaking in Virginia, I think it was, or Georgia. I forget. But anyways, we started that earlier today. I think that it's a hoax, that people, you guys can continue to question it. It's okay. It's your prerogative. We believe that Trump is not involved in any of those dumbass things that they're saying that he's involved with. He is a businessman. He's smarter than that. He might have gone and been with all these women, like most worldly pagan men in the United States of America, especially in places like California and New York and Las Vegas and, many other places. Everybody knows the truth, and, you can still question it. There's nothing wrong with it. But at the end of the day, you know what? They haven't found anything, and so we're going to continue to let the law do what it does best. Right now, we got some fresh meat on the hook, and that is, swalwell. Oh, he's busted. Let me tell you something. I know I couldn't say much about this earlier because I had to go and pick up my wife, but I'm going to tell you something. Eric Swalwell has gone hardcore against President Trump and everybody else, talking about, they should respect women, talking about, they shouldn't be doing sexual harassment. You know what? He played the card of a saint as if he wasn't doing anything. And the one thing that I tell you is this. Anybody that has been raising false testimonies against President Trump and us, they will pay. And when I say that, I'm not saying that as a leftist. The leftists, when they say that, they want violence. When I say that, I want justice, meaning I want the law to prevail. And whether I think that the leftist corrupted politicians and the Democratic Socialist Party are bad, or I call them this and that, until the law says that they are, well, it is hearsay, and that's about all we got from that. I want to go ahead and bring up this little issue, since we were on the subject of Turning Point USA. Here is a report. You may have seen this already, but this is exactly the kind of people that come into our chat. Now, guys, if you're an American patriot, I want you to please understand something. When people come in here, even though you don't like this bad, negative things or whatever, I want you to understand something. These are the people that are out there in the real world hating people wearing things like this. They fight for freedom of speech, and yet they hate your freedom of speech. You know, I went to this Mexican restaurant today after I picked up my wife, and you know, some I can tell some people, they give me this look, you know, and some of them are just like surprised that I walk into this place wearing this "Make America Great" hat again, because a lot of these people haven't seen me with this on, and so I, you know, just the way that you see me dressed today, and I go in there. And, you know, some people are happy to say hello, and they don't think anything of it. They're just, you know, normal people. But there is a lot of Mexicans that go, and not just Mexicans, but Hispanics that go to the restaurant. And I caught one of them giving me that look, you know, like this look right here. Let me see if I got the emoji. Let me give you this look right here. They gave me that look. All right. If you're in the portrait mode, you're gonna be able to see that little icon there. So they gave me that look. But you know, nobody. I mean, it is what it is. And one of the things is that the speech that needs to be protected is not the one that you like. It's the one that you don't like. Now, where I draw my line is if somebody's saying "Death to America," that is not a freedom of speech that I want in this country. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and turn to this video. This is a clip from Fox, of course. And well, let me just say again, these are the kind of people that come into our conservative channels. Okay, so there is times where if you go to my shorts or my videos and you start reading comments from people, you're gonna see that a lot of people on the left say, "Oh, this guy, he just deletes you, you know, as soon as you say something that doesn't agree with what he believes." Well, let me go ahead and show you the kind of people that come through my channel. Watch this.
Oh God. Hey guys, I didn't even come here today to, you know, try and interview people. I came here to simply observe and no, out of my you don't know. Stop touching me!
A brutal assault on a Turning Point USA reporter covering an anti-ICE protest in Minneapolis, and she now says she's afraid to do her job. Savannah Hernandez, who you just saw, speaking out after being viciously shoved to the ground.
I wasn't interviewing anybody. I wasn't engaging with anybody. I was, and I apologize. This is the first time I'm talking about this assault, and I'm scared to report, Laura. This is my job. It's what I've been doing for the last 6 years, and I'm terrified to do my job.
Meanwhile, criticism is growing over who Utah Valley University, the site of Charlie Kirk's assassination, tapped as its commencement speaker. Author Sharon McMahon trashed Charlie Kirk on social media just days after his death. Look at what she wrote. "The murder that was horrific and should never have happened does not magically erase what was said or done." She added, "To many Americans, Charlie Kirk was not a person who simply engaged in good faith debates." And we reached out to the university for a statement. They were unable to provide us with one in writing. And then meanwhile, at the University of Georgia, excitement growing ahead of tonight's Turning Point USA event with Vice President Vance expected to attend. Emily, returning to Savannah Hernandez, the reporter, this was a massive man. I saw he was described as probably 200 pounds or more. Pummeling, I mean, attacking, assaulting a young girl, a reporter.
Yes, and we saw him sort of very well in the frame before he pushed her. You could see the front view of him. It was horrifying to watch. My heart goes out to her. My heart breaks that she apologized for being emotional. The only apologies should be coming from those wretched protesters. Thank God there have been arrests in that situation. This is the same party that says words are violence. This is the same party that says believe all women. And this is the same party that puts out brutes and demonizes law enforcement and demonizes independent reporters and demonizes Turning Point USA and puts their hands on that young woman. And I hope to God that from now on, that man, I hope every day that she goes out, she has security with her.
Look at this coward, bro. Look at this coward pushing a small woman like that. What a coward. This is the peaceful leftist people that come into my chat. And no, don't lie to don't lie on my channel. Everybody knows it. When you guys come in here, if you don't want to have a conversation, then just leave. Go somewhere else. But you guys come in here to troll, to just piss people off. You don't care about communications. So just go to your leftist podcast and support them. I want conservatives. I want Americans. I want all types of Americans that want to have a conversation to come to my channel. Everybody else, if you want to just troll, just get the hell out of my channel and let other people that actually want to be involved in something positive, let them do that. Okay? So everybody else, this is your warning right now. It's right there. It's easy. That is exactly what we're not going to tolerate here. That is your full of shit. There you go. So that's the kind of stuff that we're not going to tolerate. So bye-bye. Everybody else, General, anybody else that just come in and just start cussing at us, just get rid of the trash.
On someone else's dime. But I also hope that she doesn't need it.
And I said, stay on subject. And nobody's talking about gas. Nobody's talking about food. We're talking about this reporter that has been assaulted. We're talking about her. And you're out over here talking shit about something else. Don't come back, bro. As a matter of fact, I'm going to hide you from my channel. Get the hell out of my channel, bro. I don't need your shit.
These arrests show the message that this is absolutely and patently unacceptable and that these journalists don't have to fight to get the truth out there. It just breaks my heart.
Yeah, and to be clear, not that it would matter. No one deserves to be pummeled, Harris, but she was not an antagonist. She was out there filming. She was engaging in journalism. And even when she was trying to leave, she was yelling at them, I'm trying to leave, guys, I'm trying to leave. And they continued to attack her.
Look, their fight was with her physically on that day, but their fight is with the truth. Like, we are seeing who they are. And if you're not that, then don't be part of that group. Because you know that that's what breaks out. You see the 250 guy come toward her. She said he weighed 250 pounds about. And she felt the weight of him against her and described that last night. I mean, if you know that this is even possible, when the trouble starts, try to help the person who's weakest in that environment.
Look at him.
And if you can't do that, go get help. But what are you doing standing there, and are you cheering it on? I mean, I see a bunch of complicit people in the background there. I don't remember how many they arrested when this happened. But I could see there being more than one arrest. But in the meantime, she's 29 years old, reportedly. She's out there doing a job that I loved to do when I was much younger than she is at this age. As a journalist, you don't anticipate that. You're out to get the story. I've covered KKK rallies and walked away from a scene that was volatile, but not like this. This is beyond the pale. And it deserves a close look, because why shut journalism down? Why shut conservatism or whatever else is that they hate from that group down because they can't control themselves?
Brian.
Why are you surprised? No one should be surprised. You see the way ICE are treated on the streets? That's the same way she's treated. You would think that somebody, a male, would have trouble even putting his hands on a reporter or a woman, period. But instead, you have this guy throw her to the ground. To her credit, she kept her composure, kept the camera going, and that's why we're able to see the story. Instead of hearing about the story, we're able to see the story. I talked to Todd Blanche on the radio show today, the acting attorney general. He says, we're absolutely pursuing this. And there's so much video, thanks to her courage to do this. Also, sadly, Emily, you can't do these things without security. You can't. You can't. It's not a matter of courage. You're not going to be able to get the story, because these guys have, and these women, they think they can do anything physically to you because they feel they're morally right, or the checks are clearing, direct deposited in to get them out once they're arrested.
Yes. That is good to hear from Todd Blanche that they are taking this left-wing terrorism seriously. And we also had word last week that there were efforts to really look into how Antifa and other left-wing terror groups get their funding, how they organize. But one of the reasons why things like this keep happening is because why wouldn't it? They literally assassinated Charlie Kirk, and there was no rounding up of everybody involved with these left-wing terror networks. There is very little accountability for these attacks on the natural and civil rights of conservatives on campuses, on the street, and elsewhere. And until there is real accountability, you can expect to see these violent attacks continue.
Yeah, well, there could be federal charges. We'll see Todd Blanche looking into it, as he told you on radio.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my...
That's what that's one thing that I don't have patience for. Right. So here, I don't have patience for you, dumbass, bro. I don't have patience for you, dumbass. Let me tell you something, man. You know, this is what makes me sick. This is what makes me sick about the ill mentally ill leftist lunatics. And I'm not talking about just Democrat. I'm a Democrat. I'm a real Democrat. I'm not a lunatic leftist. I'm not a libtard. If you're a Democrat, you're not a libtard. But let me just tell you this. When we are covering assaults on women, this is something that you people on the left supposedly are out there crying out to defend, to protect. And here we are doing just that. And you don't care. We're talking about protecting women. And you want to talk about something else. Stay on subject. If you just want to troll, go troll somebody else. We're trying to talk about real issues. And the only reason why you don't like me is because I tell the truth every single day. People come in here, get pissed off at me on the phone. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, why? Are you going to convince me? Are you going to show me something? And they don't show anything. They're just full of it. They're just here to try to piss somebody off, and that's not what we need. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. Charlie Kirk was right. When conversations stop happening, because that's what the leftist lunatics do. They don't want conversation. They just want violence. I'll just show you one clip. Does nothing. We have been playing clips and videos uncut, unedited, of all the violence from the leftist lunatics. And they say the right is also crazy. That's bad in both sides. But the leftist people, you guys, the only thing you can do is say, bring January 6th. And that the most hypocritical thing that you can tell me is January 6th. When you have been doing this shit day after day after day for years. For years. And right now you assault an innocent woman trying to do her journalist work. Why? Because she's telling the truth and because you're a lying snake. This is one of the reasons why I don't like to go protest. Because I'm going to end up in jail. Somebody might have to go and visit Jesus before time. I don't have that patience. Not everybody's cut out to go out there and do in-person interviews, journalism, or anything like that. Because you find these very violent people on the street. And somebody's not going to have that patience. And then they're going to go and blame ICE. And they're going to blame the police and anybody else that goes out there and defend themselves against this type of violence. Imagine somebody is there with a gun. And this type of violent attack starts happening and somebody starts shooting. Think, if you have any brains in that big head of yours, think with your brain, what can you do? We're over here talking about, protecting 9-year-olds. Nobody cares. What? Everything that you type sounds like the naive of a 12-year-old. I don't know what the hell you're saying. But we're over here covering, listening to women that have been assaulted, attacked. And then you libtards come in here and just start promoting hate and violence. You get mad at me because I get passionate about the truth. But you should be getting mad at yourself for being stupid, for being violent. There's no need for that. You can yell at me all you want, but this violence that you keep doing, you keep threatening my life or my lives. You keep threatening on the comments that you leave on my video. Which, by the way, I report you to the FBI. Just so that you know. You are getting reported to the FBI. Any comment that I find that you're threatening my life, you are automatically being reported to the FBI. And I hope they catch your ass. And hopefully you're illegal so you can get deported on top of that. It is unbelievable that I sit here and I try to cover different issues that we're going through in our country. The United States of America, our country. This country belongs to American citizens. I'm not okay. Thank you, Brad, for clarifying. I don't know who you're talking to, so I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? It's like We're going to defend this country however we can. And I'm telling you that there is a lot of people out there that are up to here. They're just fatigued with this hateful violence, and they're going to pick up arms. I'm telling you. They're going to pick up arms and going to take your ass out. This country is on the brink of getting very, very violent. And you play stupid games. If you're retarded, if you have a mental illness, please go get checked. And don't go to protest. Stay away from society. You're putting yourselves in harm's way. And you're putting other people's in harm's way. I don't go to protest because I can't put up with that. Something bad is going to happen if I am there and this is happening. We put all these videos here. There's a woman, a small, fragile woman, getting physically abused by an aggressive man and other females. And people come in here with some stupid ass questions like, "Oh, how's the gas prices?" What the hell are you talking about? You can have all of these things at any given time that we're talking about it. But when we're trying to talk about protecting victims here, you guys go off the rails. Marcos, don't come back to my channel, bro. Why you even come back to my channel? I don't understand. Why you here? Just leave. I'm sorry. This is a jackass on the landscape mode. Listen, if you don't agree with me, thank you for stopping by. Now get the hell out. If you don't have anything constructive to give me to try to understand something, just get the hell out. Just leave. Don't come back. There is plenty of leftist podcasts out there. Go support them. Go be there. If you are a Democrat but you're still conservative, there's nothing wrong with being Democrat. There's a lot of I'm conservative. But if you're a real Democrat, I know you got common sense. And I'm telling you, you need to stop voting for this garbage of corrupted politicians. They have gone from being Democrats to socialist Democrats, which is a very dangerous mix because now they're Marxist, communist, socialists. That's what socialist Democrat means. If you didn't know, now you know. Stop voting for these dumb asses that they're literally the jackass, the symbol of the Democratic Party. They really are. They want nothing good to happen to our country. They want nothing good to happen to the American people. They fearmonger so bad. They fearmonger so bad that they hate it when we don't listen to them. They hate it. Here, watch this. Everybody be my witness. Watch this. And you're going to be my witness. And all my people that actually come into my show and actually are members and subscribers that come here for information, watch what I'm talking about. Now, on the landscape, TG says, don't worry, Dennis, you deserve to have a safe space to avoid talking about sticky topics like the war and the affordability crisis. TG is a jackass that doesn't know what the hell he's talking about because I'm always talking about those things. But let's do something. Let's go ahead and add. Here's the phone number, and I want you to call in. Okay? There's the phone number right there. Go ahead and call me, and let's go ahead and have this conversation that you want to have a conversation so bad about. You know what's crazy is, Peter Hooper, thank you for stopping by. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Don't be a jackass. No spamming unless you're spamming the American flag or God bless America. You can spam that. So go ahead. Here is, let's see, is it open yet? Yes, it's available. So go ahead and give me a call. You got 5 minutes, and you can talk uninterrupted. There you go, TG. TG, show me your brains. Show me that you're smart and you can tell me what's going on with the sticky issue. Let me see. You said the war and affordability. Okay, you can pick any one of those two topics. Call. Here you go. Here's your chance. Now watch this. Everybody on the chat, watch what happens when people call in and they say that they get canceled because they just disagree with me. Watch what happens. Let's go ahead, guys. Don't be shy. Don't leave. Don't leave. This is your chance to prove to me that you can actually have a conversation. You got 5 minutes uninterrupted time. I will even time it. Here we go. 5 minutes uninterrupted. Here we go. Thank you for calling. Who's talking?
Hi. My name is Christina Nava. How are you?
Hi, Christina. How are you? I'm doing good.
I'm fantastic. Thank you.
Tell me what you got.
God bless you. What I have is
thank you.
crisis response. Crisis response.
Go ahead.
So right now we have many situations where we have children, we have women who are in a crisis situation, but they are blamed for when they call in. So what I would like to see happen is a system where we have trained professionals. The first person who answers the phone is crucial in the outcome of different situations, emergency situations.
Yes.
Because that person who answers the phone is going to lay the framework for what happens next. So, and I speak from personal experience. When we have a child or a victim, but we don't know the answer. We don't know if they've been assaulted because perhaps they have a cognitive or a neurological condition, but we're just seeking an answer. We're not placing blame. I'll tell you, we can get some really, really not logical responses to this, to what we're requesting and reporting, and it's really unfortunate. What do you think about what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, yeah, but this is supposed to be people they're supposed to be trained to be able to know how to talk to others, and I agree with you on that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I just read this today that one declaration, whether it be true or false, one written declaration. I'm speaking of the family court system, and I'm speaking on a personal experience.
Okay.
One declaration where the judge or commissioner doesn't know if this was complete made up lie can be the determining factor in the whole family court case.
Mm-hmm.
I have provided evidence to counteract that decision. Yet the child is still in a home with her father, and he's come a far way. So a long way, and I'm proud of him for that. But yet I haven't seen my daughter or spoke to my daughter, and I just worry about her. Like, what is she thinking? Her mother abandoned her? Because heck no, I sure didn't. But it's just not going the way the court feels it should go. So I'm taking the steps to correct that, and I'm seeking counsel and counsel. I'm seeking an attorney, and we will go back to court, and hopefully, we will make things right. So I just want to bring up that topic. I'm not sure if others have the same concern. I have another topic, actually.
We want to tackle affordability in the war in Iran.
Affordability and what?
In the war in Iran. You pick one of those topics.
Affordability.
Yeah, you got 2 minutes.
Affordability. Okay, war in Iran. Oh, dear. You know what? You caught me off guard. Affordability. I'm in. Okay, so let's see here. Why don't you pass it along to the next guest?
Okay.
God bless you, man.
God bless you for calling. Take care. All right. Thanks for calling, sweetheart. Bye. All right. So go ahead, TG. TG was in there. TG was the one that, and then who else? Somebody else just come in and say something here. Affordability or the war in Iran. Who was it? So there's people that come in here and just lie and make up lies. It's not about that just because you disagree with me, is that you guys come in here being hypocrites. You want rights to be respected on the left, and then you don't respect the rights on the right. Your rights are not better than mine. My rights are not better than yours. We are equal. It's very simple. People get triggered when I wear my hats. Why are you triggered? I don't care if you say you voted for Kamala. That's just the way your brains work. That's fine. So if you're the phone is here. So go ahead and call in. Tell me what's wrong with affordability. What is causing unaffordability? Jose Lopez, call in. Here we go. Who is this guy?
Hey, Dennis, let's talk Iran.
Go ahead. What do you want to say about Iran?
Okay, Iran was behind the 1993 garage bombing in New York City at the Twin Towers. 2011, when the towers came down, or whenever it was.
2001?
2001, that's right. I stand corrected. It was September 11th of 01. Those terrorists were also funded by Iran. And Iran's been at war with us for the last 47 years.
Correct.
So why not go take out their leadership and free the people and let them go back to being westernized like they were before the Ayatollah took over, you know, and let them become Persian again.
Yes.
Which they originally were Persian. The Ayatollah is the one that turned them Muslim. And there is a difference.
Yeah, big time, and that's one of the things that I advocate for. The Iranian people are they're so compatible with our Western civilization.
The Persian civilization has always been known in recent times to be a very caring and loving civilization until the Ayatollah came in.
Yeah.
You know, when the Shah was there, we were great friends. We didn't have a problem at all with Iran. But when they let Ayatollah take over, it did a 180 immediately.
Absolutely.
And why the hell did Obama send $36 billion on a C-130 to Iran?
Well, he sent $600 million cash.
Yeah, well, that's what it totaled.
Yeah, then the rest of the money was just frozen money that he just sanctioned money that he released to them. But still, the point stands. It's that this country has been terrorizing. They still haven't. They didn't stop even when Obama was there. They didn't stop saying death to America. They've been saying that this is their creed. It's their creed. Death to America.
And you want to hear something funny? Speaking of Obama. I saw a thing on YouTube that said he is not letting any black people into his library. Now, if he's black, what's he got against black people?
I don't know. That's hearsay. That could just be a rumor, but
I know, but that is what I'm saying though. Is that rumor makes him look really bad.
Yeah, but I don't like to just go on rumors. What I will tell you is that I saw that we had a revival of racism when the Obamas came into office, and that's a fact.
Yeah, when Barack and Michael came into office, that's when the racism started back up again.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that. That's one thing that bothers me about it, and even as a black first lady, a black woman, first lady, says that she feels oppressed and she's intimidated and afraid of white people. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand that.
Don't you mean Michael?
Well, we gotta call him or her Michelle.
But yeah, I mean, come on. People are saying, "Oh, we've got it bad. We can't survive." Well, damn it! My first divorce attorney was a black man. Him and his wife owned the law firm. Okay, one went on to be a federal judge. One went on to be a district judge. So how are the black people disadvantaged?
I have
How
no
come
idea.
there's black coaches? How come there's black people in politics?
It's BS. I already know that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. These people that are crying foul, oh, poor is me, is bullshit. You want a better life, get off your ass and work for it. It's not going to be handed to you. And the Iranian people, they're happy we took out their leadership. I've seen so many Iranian women and guys even on YouTube saying, "Thank you, President Trump." You know?
Yeah. I want people to call in, these guys that are over here. I know you support what we say, but I want people to call in that's been talking all this shit about that I hang up on them because I don't want to, because they disagree with me. I want those people to call in, Robert.
Oh, the minute you tell them to call in, Dennis, they're going to leave the chat.
Well, yeah,
room like
a lot of them
bullshit.
already left, but here we are, trying to make my point so that everybody that comes in here to my channel, they know the truth.
Yeah, I know. We're trying to give them the truth, but they're either too blind or just too flat stupid to realize it.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate. They need to wake up. But let me let you go so somebody else can try and call in.
Yep, hopefully they do. I'm here for them. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yep, bye.
There you go. Just make sure that, if you disagree with me, that you call me. If you disagree with me, if you want to talk to me about unaffordability, well, let's talk about unaffordability. If you want to talk about Iran, we can talk about Iran. But don't go around raising false testimonies, lying to people, trying to get my channel canceled because you want to be a hateful asshole. That's not what I'm here for, okay? And if you want to be that, just don't come here. Just go find something better to do with your life. Go ahead, adelante, 742. Give me a call. You want to call him dumb? You go ahead and call me and tell me how smart you are. You know, when illegal immigrants try to come in here and insult my American family, I tend to have a problem with that. Go ahead, adelante. Call in. You want to insult people on my chat? Call me. Who's Fennis? Oh, man. Let's go, baby. Let's dance. Let's dance. Jason, call me. See if anybody else calls. Let's dance, losers. That's right. I'm going to call you a loser because you're over here talking shit to the people on my channel, but you don't have the balls to call. There's the phone number right there. Very simple. You wonder why I'm over here and why I insult people. That's the reason why I insult people, because they come in here and they start talking bad about the people in my chat. Those who have valid, legit questions, and you want to come in here and say lies, but then you don't want to tell me what's a lie. So here, I think 50 asked a question, right, about Michelle, I think it was. Another self-flag session. Oh, please. Oh, my God. Here, look, this is Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama has expressed feelings of being trapped by societal pressure to straighten her hair, curly hair to meet white beauty standards. Oh, wow. She is so oppressed. She's so stressed with white people because she needs to straighten her hair. Let me read that again. Sorry, Martin. I was answering the question here. It says, Michelle Obama has expressed feelings of being trapped by societal pressure to straighten her naturally curly hair to meet white beauty standards, citing it is an exhausting, expensive, and time-consuming expectation. She has also previously discussed experiencing low-grade depression due to racial injustice and political turmoil. All right, Jason, call me back in a little bit. Let me answer this other caller and see who it is.
All right, man.
Thanks. Hey, thanks for calling. Who's calling?
Oh, you answered. Okay, I thought there was going to be like a bot thing.
No, I just my members call me, but I want other people that disagree with me. Well, the ones that are especially cussing on my chat. What are you calling about?
Well, I just want to know, why are my gas prices so high if we're an oil-positive country?
Yeah, that is a good question, and I wish that we would just give ourselves the oil that we need. But, the problem that I have with oil is, number one, it is a sacrifice, but I think it's worth having the sacrifice to take care of this pest that we have. The other thing that I have my concern on is that people come in and complain on my chat about gas prices and oil. We are over here trying to fix something that has been going on against us for 47 years. Price hasn't even reached as high as it did with the Joe Biden's administration, and they weren't even warring anything. They weren't even fighting. There was no issues anywhere else. It was just incompetent administration. And I have these people that call in, like, I'm okay with the question, but I have these people that call in as if this hasn't happened before, like if this hasn't been an issue before. We're at $97, right? It's been between $100, $105, $97.
So
Okay.
gas goes there.
Yeah. Oh, but bro, you and I both, my friend. Trust me, I feel it. How much you spend on your tank?
I think $200, $300.
You gotta be. What is it? A big truck?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. All the way. It's a necessity. It's a necessity. I clean boats. Come on.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about getting rid of that tax that we're paying, the regulation for the Green New Deal?
Let me tell you, I could give a shit about the environment. I mean, seriously.
Well, you should care somewhat. Not crazy too far to the environment that we're not God. We're never gonna what do you call it? We're never gonna reverse what nature is doing. We can't stop it. We're still melting. We're still melting from an ice age. You can't go plug a volcano that emits thousands and thousands of gases that destroys the atmosphere. All this carbon that comes out of volcanoes. You can't stop it. It happens. It needs to happen. So here, my problem is when people complain about prices. I'm with you. I want the gas price to go down. I think we should be like at $1.50 right now, to be honest. I am so pissed off that we have all this oil and we can't use it. That question that you said about the oil here, that's legit. Now, the oil is a commodity. I understand why, But, under Biden, it went up to what, $135 a barrel, I think it was. And the highest, if I'm checking in, hey, let me put this on the screen. Let me see, where is it? I don't know if you're watching it, but I'm going to put this on the screen here and share it with everybody. This is the Business Insider, and the Dow Jones, by the way, is up at 48,535. Not bad. But the oil Brent, that's the oil that we pay on, $95.03 today. Crude oil, I believe, is probably maybe $10 under that or something like that. But, to be 130 under Biden's administration, I don't know, man. You just, think about this. How is it, right? I know you, bro, 200, I'm still shocked. 200 to fill your tank. I'm still shocked. But think about this. Like, I think a better question is this. Why is it that we are at $95, okay, a barrel of oil, right? Think about this. When Biden was in office and it hit 130, listen to this and see if it makes sense to you, because everybody blames Trump for this, right? But check this out. At $130 a barrel of oil, the prices in gas here in Washington State, the highest price that I paid was $5.62. That's pretty damn high. That is pretty damn high, okay? But check this out. Now it's years later, and we are at $95 a barrel of oil. I'm paying $5.79 a gallon of gas. Make that make sense.
I seriously can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's freaking nuts.
Right? Think about it. 130, 562. Now we're 95, $35 less, cheaper. And we're paying $5.79. How is that possible? Well, I told you, taxes and regulations, my friend. This is why. Look at this. The Dutch city kid is paying $3.68 a gallon. I'm paying $5.79 a gallon here in Washington State. Some people that say that they're paying like $8 down in California. Tell me that I'm lying. Tell me something is not fishy, and why would I blame President Trump? Obviously, I supported him. I voted for him. But tell me, how am I a liar to question people's response to the high prices in gas when I just gave you that one little tiny example? 135 a barrel, and we paid max $5.62. We're at 95. $35 under per barrel. Oh my God, dude. It's really annoying that people think that I'm lying about what I say here. But it's so crazy that they don't see this. So with the gas prices, I think that is the tip. And that, no, not the tip. I think it's the main, no, not the main either. How can we call this? Maybe like in between reason of why unaffordability is happening. And all this really tells you is taxing and regulation. I see the biggest spike in my state because our government is incompetent. And you know what happens when we question them about prices? Guess what they say? Guess.
I don't know.
No, just guess. Take one guess. Come on, you will not be wrong.
The environment. Let's go for the environment.
No, you were wrong. I can't believe you proved me wrong. You're wrong. It's not the environment. Whose fault is it? How's that?
Oh.
Whose fault is it?
Democrats.
Not Democrats. Who Democrats say is fault? Whose fault is it? When we ask the Democrat government, whose fault is it that we have unaffordability? What do they say?
They're probably blaming Trump.
Absolutely, 100%. You win a prize, my friend. Bro, isn't that crazy?
Trump. Oh my gosh.
Bro, dude, I steal 200 what? To fill up your tank?
Oh, I think it was 213. 213.
Bro, I spent 105 for my tank, and it's a V6, bro.
A V6.
V6, 105.
Oh my gosh. What do you drive?
It's a Grand Cherokee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I drive a Chevy Tahoe V8.
Okay. But dude, double the price? Where you at, in Cali?
It's insane. What?
Where you at, in Cali?
No. I'm out in Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
What? Well, I thought the price over there was not that high, bro. How much is the gallon?
It's doubling. I'm in a place where they're building a ton of apartments. It's nuts.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Well, if you stay tuned, the next clip that I'm going to play on here is going to be Escape Plan from New York. So,
New York.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's pretty close to you, man. That's just a few hours north of you. So you better be ready, because those apartments that they're building in your city, my friend, about to get filled up. They are already pre-leasing, I'm sure. That is crazy. Hey, what was your name, brother?
It's gonna blow. It's gonna blow.
What's your name?
What? Casey.
Casey, I like it, bro. You sound like a crazy, one of those crazy rednecks I want on my side if the shit hits the ceiling. Listen, you could be the blackest black, but you
no.
Yeah.
Why does
Okay, the redneck that I like. Then that's what I'm talking about.
All right. Well, I gotta head out now. All right.
All right. Thanks for calling, bro. You'll be
I
blessed.
gotta take a call, all right?
All right. Take it easy.
All right. Later.
Damn, $200 to fill up in V8 in Carolina. That is crazy. Was it 130? Let's see. Gas were way lower, says Jeremy. But when the price per barrel dropped, the government increased the prices per gallon because nobody noticed. Well, we noticed. Believe me, we noticed. And for the longest time, I've been saying this. When is the gas going back to $1.77? Because the barrel was 130, but the gas was $1.77. When is it going back? Because the gas went all the way down with Trump. It went down to $65 a barrel. But you're right. They kept that shit down to like $3 and some change. They think we're dumb, bro. They think we're dumb. But if you have a question about affordability, I think by now you probably already know where I'm at with this. So if you are against President Trump and you blame everybody, if you blame President Trump for unaffordability, give me a call. Hey, Sandra, we see you. Everybody is on the portrait mode. Sandra says hello to everybody from the landscape mode. Hey, give me your opinion here. Let me put a little. Let me do a poll here. Obviously, everybody wants to come through here, but 50 says, "When's the next COVID?" So stupid. All right, so 50 says, "I blame liars like you." Now tell me. Everybody that's been listening so far, I don't make the stats. I don't make the stats. Now, you say you blame liars like me. Tell me, what out of anything that I said about the gas, what about it is a lie? First of all, sweetheart, how old are you? Do you drive? Have you been driving in the last 10 years so that you know what the gas prices are? How old are you? Maybe you don't know how that works, but there's that. Hey, Sandra, Samuel says hello, and everybody else in the chat, I'm sure. Tanya says, Sandra, come over here. Guys, you're not supporting the landscape mode. I want to be able to stream on the landscape mode because, look, everything is bigger. You guys can see a better picture. You can read the numbers better. You know, if I am playing here on the portrait mode, I can enlarge this way and I can move around. But then, you know, it becomes more inconvenient. And then when they change the angle, you know what I'm saying? It's just, man, it's just, I don't like it. But it's okay. Whatever you guys want, I'm with you here. I'm here to please. I'm here to please. Uh-oh, here we go. 50 says, I drive a stick shift. I know how to drive. Do you know how to put gas in the car? Congratulations, by the way. Stick shift is my favorite, but automatic is more convenient. Brian, we're old school. I hear you, bro. I hear you. I hear you. Sandra says, laugh out loud. But maybe Sandra will join us over here. Sandra, come to the light side. She's in the dark side all by herself. No, landscape, Jason. Landscape mode, it's the horizontal mode. Left to right, left to right. That's landscape mode. Portrait mode is the small picture. When you put the phone this way, this is portrait. This is landscape, okay? All right. So, I'm sorry, 50, but if you don't super chat, your comments just get diluted with the rest of the comments, okay? So if I don't get you, sorry about that. That's just the way that it is. Let's see, Pac-Man and Linda, hello on the landscape mode. Somebody actually left a comment on my video, be like, hey, you're wrong. The landscape mode is this. I'm like, please, I'm a photographer. Landscape, portrait. Landscape, portrait. Landscape, portrait. All right. All right. Enough of that. Enough of that. Maybe they don't want to come to the landscape mode because then my face is this big, and maybe they don't like that. Sandra says maybe not. She likes the big screen better. You asked me a question. Let's see. Yeah, I asked you about the gas. All right. Let me go take a look at your. Okay, here we go. Ohio. Hey, thanks for calling. Who's calling?
Dawn.
Dawn. What are you calling about? On affordability or Iran?
What you say, bro?
What do you want to talk about? You got 5 minutes on affordability or Iran.
I just want to ask you something. How old are you, bro?
I'll be 50 in a couple of months.
Oh, that's why. It's like you
What
not
happened?
in reality at all.
What happened?
You very far from reality.
Very far from reality. Show me reality.
Yeah.
What's up? What you got?
You sound like you got the house, you got the business going on. Sounds like you not
close to people reality. Right now, there's a bad situation going on. I don't know what's funny. Everybody keep lying, but the reality in people's face every day. You feel me?
Yeah. Well, you see how you categorize me right there.
No,
So because of watch this.
I did it because you literally trying to lie on reality, bro. Like you literally trying to make us think like the shit that we wake up every day.
Yeah, I want to teach you something tonight.
Real.
I'm going to teach you something tonight, son. Listen, have you ever heard or has anybody ever told you about a poor mentality? Do you know what that is? Stay with me.
I see where you're going.
Okay. Well, here, watch.
I see where you're
I'm
going.
gonna tell you one story, okay? So that we don't make it too embarrassing for us. I'm gonna tell you a story. When back about 20 years ago, I was almost homeless, honestly. Okay, I was paying child support. I only had 2 kids back then. Paying child support, and actually 5 kids, but 2 of the kids were getting child support from me because I was still supporting my other ones with me. But watch this: the mentality it's crazy. So I am paying 50% out of my check, and if I work 2 jobs or double shifts, I still can barely afford my rent and my bills, okay? But I did it because I needed to be responsible for my kids, right? I want them to have something. So they would live with their mom. Their mom was on welfare and etc. And, whatever her life, she chose that life. Now, when they came over to my apartment, because I used to have a 2-bedroom apartment, so when they come over, I got a room for them, etc., right? Check this out. I went and got this set of couches, used couches, leather couches. And I cleaned them up. I shined them up with leather thing, and did all this stuff, right? I got a couple of plants at Home Depot because I like to have the tropical feel inside the house. And then I bought this glass table with the metal frames. You probably know what I'm talking about. And, seat for 4, I bought this $50 set of frying pans and 4 plates for everything, right? My 2 kids and myself. And I vacuumed in my apartment. Oh, bro, you have no idea. And so I vacuum the carpet, and I like to make lines, okay, when I vacuumed. So my kids will come over.
Just because hold on.
Go ahead.
Just because I was saying what the reality is about, now you already assuming that I'm poor?
No. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to what you're saying. And so my kids will come over. Now they're already in their, early teens, right? And my daughter, she's the cutest. My daughter was like, "Dad." And I said, "Yeah, baby." She says, "You're rich?" And I said, "Why, baby?" She said, "It looks like a rich house." And I'm going to tell you, bro, their mom had more money left over than I did. But the whole poor mentality that I'm telling you is this, that just because I was poor, just because I was struggling, just because even then when gas was cheaper, I couldn't afford to fill up my tank. I had to measure how much gas I used. My kids noticed the difference between their mom and I, and their poor mentality was living ghetto. You can't afford anything. You just got to kind of give up in life, so to speak. But when they came to my house, because I don't have a poor mentality, even though I'm poor, right? I don't express that to people. So even now, the way that you categorize me, right? You see me with a suit, right? You assume I got a business, I'm successful. It's because I don't have a poor mentality. You probably make more money than me, just to be honest. You probably make more money than me. The thing is this, I understand why prices are high. At the age that I am, I know that
when your side want to use it, right, for people to know, okay, for ability, everything is high.
Yeah.
Weight is high. God is high. It's okay. But
it's not good. We're not saying it's good. We just need to understand why.
Mentality. When I say it's poor mentality, I wouldn't say that's white privilege, but I ain't gonna say that because we already know what the fuck it is.
No. Look, listen. I think you misunderstood what I'm saying about the poor mentality.
I understand exactly.
The poor mentality. What I'm saying is,
exactly what you're saying it's just funny how you saying it, but you just got the wrong one to say it to.
No. I'm not saying you're poor. What I'm saying is I am, but the way you describe me, see, the reason why you describe me that way is because I don't have a poor mentality. So the way you see me is the way my kids saw me when I was, you know what I'm saying? So it's not you.
With Obama deal, there was nothing wrong with it. And then next thing you know, we got the regular guy, the yellow guy, and then now everything fucked up. Now we gotta pay to get something out of it. Now we are losing. Meanwhile, our guys getting mixed up with other guys. We're not even paying for the full price of the guys. It's just crazy how y'all just playing reality in our faces.
No,
I like thinking we just dumb.
No, I lived in California.
Everybody not dumb.
Look, as I said before, I am actually a Democrat, but I lived down in California. I was homeless for almost 9 months. Okay, I was living off my car. I had a full-time job. Now, I'm not saying the economy was bad. You know, I was still paying my child support, so that's okay. That's the consequences of my decisions. Okay. But when Obama was president, gas was so high back in 2006, 2005, 2006. Gas was so high, I couldn't afford to put gas in my car. It went over $5. And this is 20 years ago, bro, under Obama. So I live through different presidents. I've seen the prices go up and down. And what I'm saying today is that the socialist Democrats, they're not real Democrats. The socialist Democrats blame everything on Trump because they don't know how to excuse their shitty ass incompetent job that they're doing. So the reason why I mentioned the gas, check this out. But listen. I want you to listen. Wait, you have to listen.
The person that's caused the problem.
Well, but that's not the problem.
Right now, bro. Come on.
Listen, you just missed the last caller. I don't know if you were listening. Ask me this. I'm going to ask you just one question, okay? And I'm going to ask you to please answer it. If the barrel of oil under Biden went up to $135 and gas went up as high as $5.62, why is gas $5.79 now and the barrel of oil is $95? Answer that question.
I don't know. I don't do mock like that. But one thing I know is
you gotta learn math. You have to do math. Because otherwise people are just gonna lie to you and you're gonna be living in the wrong reality.
We're not even getting the full tank. We're not even we pay the full price, we're not even get the full thing that we pay for. Now it's mixed up with other shit that we don't even like. That's not even good for our cars. Who you rather? You rather pay for a bottle of water or you rather pay for a bottle mixed up with some juice, but double the price? It just sounds dumb.
I know it's not fair, but you have to be able to understand where the problem lies. And the problem that I have with socialist Democrats is, number one, they have here. I'm going to give you one little example here in Washington State where I am. They just taxed us $9 billion. Well, it ended up to be 12, but they started off with $9 billion of new taxes. Okay, pay attention. $9 billion that was supposed to be collected within 4 years. Okay, you with me? So they charged $9 billion in taxes, new taxes, so to be collected in the next 4 years. You know what happened? The first year didn't even finish, and they ran out of money. So they got another $2.5 billion, and they passed it. Now they're adding 10% income state tax because they ran out of money. It is not an issue with Trump and the war, and I can tell you that Trump has done so much that's the reason why prices are not as high as they should be. They're higher, but they're not as high as they should be. Prices have been worse.
I mean, the only reason we know it's slowed down because it's a peace deal.
Well, but yeah.
Like the volume of your music.
Sure, yeah. But who's making that deal? But who's making that deal? Are any socialist Democrats helping make this deal? Or they just out there just watching to see how somebody fails so that they can take credit?
Who started it, though? Why they started it?
Iran? You talking about Iran?
Yeah.
Well, they started 47 years ago. We're just trying to finish it now. And it will be. It will be finished.
Man.
It will be finished.
Come on, man. We know. I know there's a problem with Iran, but that's
45,000 people killed.
That's not none of the top list of the problem that we have to handle.
The problem is that the local government is not doing their part, and they keep blaming Trump for it. That's the problem. Hey, brother. Yeah, that's it. Man. That's it. Do some math, man. You gotta learn some math. All right. Thank you so much for your call, brother. I appreciate you.
But you have to accept the blame too when they're.
Yeah, absolutely. If we fail, we're gonna fail together. But if we are successful, we will celebrate together.
We're not gonna fail together. Don't say that.
No, I'm talking about us. The ones I'm talking about the ones that support Trump, not you guys. You guys don't get to come into the celebration. You guys get to hear I told you so. All right, brother. You be blessed, man. Have a good night, all right? Take it easy, my man. Peace out. Guys, you got to do some basic math. Here we go. Let's see. Cutting Edge. Good to see you, man. Cutting Edge is on the dark side with Sandra. Cutting Edge says, I'm Hispanic. I only make $50,000 a year. And I'm paying $500 for my land and $610 for rent. What? Damn, where you live at, man? I think I might have to move. Plus $210 for mobile phone lines. Sounds like you have at least 4 to 5 lines. And that's not even counting food. Man, Cutting Edge, man. You make me feel bad, bro. You're making me feel bad. The question is that I do not complain and work for... Thank you so much. I was going to try to get there with him, but he didn't give me a chance to get there. I don't think I was going to be able to explain it enough. But Cutting Edge says the question is that I do not complain and work for more at the end of this month. They tell me there will even be Saturdays from 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. And you know what? I will work them. Simple. Thank God. Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. That's the kind of Hispanics that we are. What does being Hispanic have to do with it? Well, because we are talking about unaffordability, and we have had an invasion of illegal immigrants, and there is Americans that have it well, and they like to complain about things. So what Cutting Edge is saying is that he appreciates the opportunity that this country gives. And I'm going to tell you something. He didn't let me say this, but the reason why I brought up the poor mentality is you guys see my show, and I'm not trying to destroy the magic, right? Because I do work hard on presentation as best as I can. I'm not perfect, right? I mentioned to my lovely members and the people that have been with me for a while that I was going to get some jackets because I got rid of all my suits, etc. And, well, here we are. If let me take this call here from Texas, it looks like. Hey, thanks for calling. Texas, everything is bigger in Texas. Tell me about it.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling.
Just my quick question, because I've been seeing your live feed on YouTube. The other thing I want to ask is, so you were mentioning that under Biden there were 130 per barrel.
Yeah, I think 130 or so. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were paying $5, but now it's 95, and you're paying a lot more. So who do we blame for that?
Mm-hmm. That's the question that I have for everybody. Who do you blame? Who do you think? Where will you start looking at?
No, I don't know. That's why I was asking.
Oh, you're asking a real question. I thought you were asking me what my question was. I was like, yes, that is my question.
No. I wasn't calling to berate or anything. I was just calling because, like you were saying, they went up that high, and that's the only thing I want to ask. Like, so who do we blame? And I don't want to blame the current federal government, or is it a state law, or things like that? That's the only thing
this is something that I have been doing. I work so many hours doing this, and I get paid like $4 an hour, so to speak, in labor. That is the turnaround for my labor. Okay,
Yes.
So if you're making $20, good for you. I'm making about $4 an hour, maybe. But here's the thing. So I look at everything around me, and I try to figure out, like, how do I get information? I go to the government page, and I listen to the hearings, and I listen to the tax proposals. Here in Washington State, we are allowed to vote for what taxes come through and what passes. And we have said no to many taxes. And what it's a socialist Democrat government, okay? It's been Democratic here since the early 80s. So just imagine over 40 years of Democrat ruling here in Washington State. And they have bypassed the people's voice, the people's votes. And they went into this whole new Green New Deal and this whole EV thing and all these other mandates. And they're trying to go crazy, with the environment. We're paying automatically $1.47 more a gallon of gas because of regulation, because of environment. And on top of that, new taxes are kicking in every 6 months. It's a progressive tax. And they keep kicking in every 6 months or so. So we had new property taxes added as of this 2026. We've had a new business tax added as of 2026. We had a new tax increase of over 10 to 12 cents on gas. I think it's a percentage, to be honest. But they added a new tax on gas, which, by the way, is also progressive. It will change every year until it gets to a certain amount. So it doesn't matter how low the price of the oil for the barrel of oil is, because you have all these taxes and regulations for things that we don't need here in Washington State. This is why you see a lot of states that are paying like $2, $3 less than we are. Well, I wouldn't say $3, but at least $2 less. Is because of that regulation and taxing. And here's the problem that I have. President Trump, listen to this. President Trump announced Liberation Day. Remember that? Tariffs.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he announced the tariffs. I'm telling you this right now. Apartment affordability was already an issue before these tariffs, okay? We already have overtaxing before tariffs. And when we have confronted the governor, wait a minute, why are prices going out of hand? You have to understand something. The previous governor, before this one that just took over, had an issue where he was wasting a lot of the budget money on trips for himself. But this guy promised that he was going to change that. And he actually did the opposite and added, and it took a healthy $16 billion budget to negative $30 billion now. That just can't happen because of tariffs. And so he made a union come to a press conference, a small private press conference that they didn't even announce. They just called a few friends. And he says, well, I know you're concerned about affordability. I want to just tell you that thanks to Trump and his tariffs, and I said, okay, this clown's got to go. No, dude, the tariffs did not take effect for a whole month before they were announced. And the unaffordability has been happening for years. And that's
you're
I can't
correct.
do it.
Yeah, you're correct. On our state in Texas, the same thing. I'm not talking about the whole state of Texas, but in county-wise, our taxes are going up every year.
Yeah.
We think that there might be the local politicians. Now, I'm not. Look, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm not going to say who I support, but in a sense, I think that there's the local politicians.
Yeah.
But on the, but for example, us down here where we live at in Texas, yes, this new thing that's going on with the blockade and everything has jumped the gas prices.
Yeah.
To we were $2.56 a gallon, and then it went up to almost $4. Now it's gone down. Has gone down.
It's still expensive for Texas.
It's a good thing. Has gone down. But that's the only reason why I was calling, because I think it's more of the sometimes local politics.
Absolutely.
They tend to do that. And like I said, look, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just look at my local politicians, and I see that they allot
They tend to do, they come out with all these promises. They're going to
Yeah.
lower taxes.
Yeah.
And they don't lower anything.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
that was just my culture.
Yeah.
I appreciate your
Yeah.
time and your program.
Yes, sir.
And you have a great evening, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so
for your
much.
time.
You be
No, I
blessed.
appreciate it, sir.
God bless you, your
You too,
family.
sir.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
But that is the thing. I said I'm a Democrat because I supported Democrats for so many years because they make all these promises and they sounds very good. But I just take the blindfold off and be like, okay, these guys have been lying to us for many, many years. How can I continue to support a party that has technically betrayed me? You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait. I can't wait till the moment that we can all celebrate together. Hey, thanks for calling. Who's calling?
Hello. Oh, this is John. How are you?
Hey, John. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. What you got for me tonight?
Well, I was just wondering, neither the Republicans or the Democrats seem to be focused on reducing our national debt.
Yes.
And at what point do you think that will become insolvent and, everything you've worked for, including your 401k monies, is literally worthless?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm a Republican, but I don't see any party trying to.
Well, you and I both. You represent right, and I represent the good left, which to be honest, I'm switching more towards the middle right, to be honest. But here's the thing, and I think that's absolutely a good point to make. I will say this: I have seen Democrats, yes, from my side, I have seen them get. They did this 180 turn, and I'm sure you've seen this. They did a 180 turn. They went from America first, securing borders, ID, etc., to globalism. And when they did that, we lost manufacturers. They didn't care because they were making money globally. And, we lost all these manufacturers, and China started collecting money. As a matter of fact, I believe China's economy has grown great because of our market. Huge, yeah. And so, they let all these companies and gave a message to American people, to investors, that it's better to go to China, Vietnam, Thailand, and all these other, countries, because the United States of America is too expensive. Well,
because they can make goods goods over there for fraction of the cost.
Yeah, here, watch. I'm gonna give you something that I feel like is the best example that I can tell you about how the leftist mentality has been corrupted. Let me read this chat real quick. Cutting Edge says the private companies of oil are not owned by the government. The CEOs are the ones hijacking the prices. I think that's part of it, but right now it's still a globalist commodity, and I think that's why the prices affect us as well, even though we have a lot of oil. I really wish that we could separate at least some of that so that we can just feed ourselves, so to speak.
You remember under Trump's first presidency, he tried to get that pipeline from Canada all the way.
Yep, I remember the blockage.
Imagine if we would have had that by now.
Oof, yeah.
I mean, the price of oil probably wouldn't even.
It wouldn't be a deal.
us.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a problem. And I think Alberta would have benefited big time from that pipeline, because I think it was coming from Alberta, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not for sure where.
Yeah, there was a pipeline that was there was a pipeline that unfortunately went through some sacred ground, but you know how it is with sacred ground. People don't really know what sacred ground is, and they go out there and protest and blah blah blah. Anyway, so I think that you have a point, on trying to ask the question, because I want to bring in this issue with Iran, right? Yeah. I know that many presidents have talked about taking care of these clowns. Okay, I voted for President Trump so he can do just this. So he took care of Venezuela. I think that's fantastic. It's been decades for Venezuela was lost, and now they're found. Okay, we have a relationship with Venezuela, which is something that I didn't understand why we don't. I think Cuba's next, but let's leave that in the back burner.
Well, I think the Cuba thing's probably going to be wrapped up just because they can't trade. Venezuela's not providing them oil and, goods like they were. And I think Cuba's probably going to come to the realization that, oh my gosh, we don't have our other dictator to support us.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to, make amends with the United States and possibly, make some hard decisions
Yeah.
to stop our communistic ways and, try to be a more democratic country, hopefully, for their sake. Those poor people, that'd be hard to live under that.
Yeah. You know what?
Control.
I am very, very optimistic with Cuba. And I think that just a couple of simple changes, well, maybe more, but one of the big changes will be tourism. More private business owners that can go out there and make dollars. Because right now they don't use the Cuban dollar. It's worthless. So they actually have to lock the doors and take people a little bit at a time, and they have to pay in dollars because that's the only way to make money. But like I said, we'll put Cuba in the back burner because Cuba, to me, I can say so many nice things about Cuba. But here's the problem in Iran. Okay, so we took care of the Air Force. We took care of the Navy. Again, with the oil prices, I wish that we can just feed our tanks with our own oil. I get all this whole commodity thing. I want to get rid of this globalist economy. I think it's just so harmful for big countries, especially like us. I'm not an economist, but I just think that knowing that we are 1/3 of the market of the world, I think that we can benefit from just making our own oil for our people. And then we can still be part of the globalist economy, but we still need to take care of ourselves. And we're not going to pay the price for somebody else's stupidity. Here's the thing with Iran, and I think that I was expecting this 6 to 8 weeks, which is very, I don't know what's the word, not naive, but kind of a stupid deadline, to be honest, especially for the type of people that we're dealing with. But my biggest concern is not how long it's going to take. My biggest concern is that I've noticed that the only thing that comes out in the open is China getting oil. But they forget, if you look at the map, right, of the Middle East, where's Russia? Russia, Iran, there's like 3 or 4 countries that share the northern sea of Iran. And Russia can easily be just slipping in some weapons because we ain't flying that way. Nobody's paying attention.
Lake, that's north of.
That's right, the
Iran,
lake.
Right.
Yeah.
Huge,
Yeah. No, nobody's paying attention to it. So I think.
We know Russia and probably China are supplying them with all these weapons.
Well, there you go. So that's my problem. That it's not that how long it's going to take because, oh man, there's so much to unwrap.
The thing is, like, who's going to give them the nuclear material they need? I mean, evidently they already have it, possibly stored in these mountains, and I think Trump's on the hunt for that right now.
Well, I'm going to give you some food for your brain. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
China and Russia, they showed me their cards when the Democrats started fighting Trump with tariffs. Okay. And they did this thing called, we are going to wait. We're going to play the wait game. When Trump gets out of office, we'll F him up again with trade. Well, keep that in the back burner for you right there. So because now you can put them together. What can China and Russia do to destroy the United States of America on a very long chokehold? They can keep feeding Iran weapons to continue to fight and just extend the war, deplete our money. And of course, we are already fighting each other here in this country. If I can think of this, I am sure the strategists and the pros and all these generals have already thought about it. So all I can do is just hope that God is in control and that we have a plan for that because there is no other choice but to do what President Trump said, and that was to annihilate a whole civilization.
Well, if we really take a bird's eye view of it, probably, Trump probably came to this decision by looking at the whole world. Like he knows China wants to take over Taiwan.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
And so he's probably like, okay, how can by going in and, you know, telling Iran, you know, no more stupidity talks. You can't be the world's leader of terror and
Correct.
keep shooting missiles all over the Israel and keep funding Hamas and Hezbollah all the time
Yeah.
and get away with it and then threaten to wipe us and Israel off the map every
Right.
time they, you know, hold a rally. And but Trump's probably thinking, well, maybe China, we don't know, was, you know, planning to invade Taiwan like sooner than later. And he's probably like, gosh, we got to get us, if we take, you know, killing two birds with one stone, if we, you know, stop Iran and then block their oil exports, because, you know, China was getting most of that oil. You know,
yeah.
They were buying a lot of it.
Yeah.
He's probably like, well, that's going to put the hurt on them even more. So they can't go to war now because they don't have the resources to fight, you know. But because, like, Trump probably doesn't want our country overwhelmed either, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want war on two fronts at the same time. And then, you know, here we've used how much weapons? A third or more?
Well,
of our
let's,
weapons
you know,
just on this war.
to be honest, man, I think we're just trying to get rid of the old shit that we have.
I guess I heard it only takes 2 weeks to resupply.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we're trying to get rid of the stock.
Too is, I understand, yes, we're the world's police right now, but you know what? We need some reimbursement for being that, because, you know,
That's right.
absolutely. We don't take over countries when we invade them.
Yeah.
We help form a democracy. And my thing is, you know what? If these people want to play bad games, then I personally think that we should take all their oil revenues until the war, the costs that we've, you know, incurred are paid back to us.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's stupid that we just keep, you know, going in debt further and further, and there's no repercussion. And then half the time we give these nations money to rebuild too.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, hundreds of billions of dollars. Absolutely. But that's who we are as a country. And I'm gonna say this. Remember this. I want you to remember this, because as many times people on the left, they come in here and call me a stupid liar or whatever they want to insult me with. I like to use a little bit of critical thinking. And if you think about the way that Trump is doing this stuff, okay, what's killing our country? Look how it started, because Trump has been saying this for decades. Okay, so one of the things is he comes in here, and he's not going to be politically correct anymore. He's just going to drop the things like, I don't give a shit.
I think that's why a lot of people like it.
Yeah, that's why we voted for him, right?
Blunt.
Yeah, that's why we voted for him. That's why we supported him. But here's what I think. It's, okay, we have been, like, Obama was a soft liar, right? He was well-spoken, and, you know, he took, like this, like, look, just like I'm doing. He took the time to think about every word that he would say, but he was lying out his ass, like, the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And so people like that. Is what the preachers at church call it, tickling your ears with prosperity, right? They don't want to tell you about sin and hell and all this stuff. Prosperity and blessings and prosperity. That's Obama lying. And by giving this terrorist millions, actually billions, 2.3, I think it was.
Obama told him not to cross a red line, and then didn't do nothing about it when they did, and sent them over pallets of cash.
Yep. 600 million cash, and 1.7 billion of unfrozen assets. But the thing is this. So we start off with things. Okay, so we have illegal immigration. We got to tackle this. Remember, this is what people hate on the left. Oh, Trump is always repeating himself because you guys keep forgetting. What is the first thing he talked about? He's doing a press conference. Oh, what about eggs? And I'm like, okay, yeah, what about eggs? I can't buy no eggs. Too expensive. People took care of that shit. Okay, so he went and put somebody in charge. Eggs. Now we have eggs. Now we can afford eggs. Nobody talks about the problem solved because it's no big deal. Now that they don't have the problem, they think that that problem never happened. It never existed. Right? So Trump goes out and then he does the tariffs. Okay, why does he do tariffs? Oh, my God, we're going to go into the Great Recession and we're going to lose all this and the country's going to go bankrupt and blah, blah, blah. I said what you need to do is change your 401k. You got to be smart. Change your 401k to not be aggressive, because a lot of people like to be aggressive because they like to gamble, they like to make a lot of money. You need to go. What is the opposite of aggressive? There's a word, and I can't think of it.
Kind of conservative.
Yeah, more conservative, right? So a slow gain, but no loss, right?
Being in bonds or something where you're not going to take no major losses, but
sure,
you're going to get a percentage, but it's not going to be the gains that you could have if you were
right. And so, but they're giving you the information so that you can take care of those things, right? Now, the billionaires, they listen, they know. They're like, oh shit, oh hey, wait a minute, we're about to hit passive. No, I think more conservative. But you know, they're like, shit's about to hit the ceiling. We don't want to lose money. You know, and they made the changes necessary. And then after I went on, this is before I started doing my lives, right? This is the beginning of my show, before I started doing my show. And I said on my short videos, and I said, I am 100% for tariffs. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not a stock guy, but if I can tell you something today, is you better learn how to invest, because these tariffs can make you a lot of money if you play your cards right. And you know what? By doggone it, I was right. But the biggest thing about tariffs is all the countries that said F you, America, they actually came in. It took months, but they came in. They made deals. Now, people still deny that on the left. I get it. That's fine. But you know what? I remember him going on tours all over Middle East, all over Asia, making deals, stopping diplomatically speaking, brokering peace deals amongst nations that have been warring for years, some decades. And, you know, and he doesn't get credit for that. In the meantime, we have the local government destroying our local economy. And the only answer for their incompetence, President Trump's fault. F Trump, sue Trump. In the meantime, they are the ones being corrupted. They're the ones cheating. BLM cheating millions of dollars out of the black community. Now, this is the mentality of the people that cheat all the time. And this is why Trump is pissed off with them and always calls all these names out. I get it. I think he goes overboard, but I get him. I get him. And
my thing is, look at China. I mean, they devalue their currency.
Oh, please. Absolutely.
Their capital flows, their market expectations.
Yeah.
So they can weaken their money so they can get more goods from other, and then strengthen it when it's beneficial to them. And by slapping on tariffs, Trump's like, good luck. You ain't doing none of your controlling your currency anymore.
Yeah.
Holds them accountable.
You know what? I can go on. You can see how I take you around, right? From all the things from the beginning to try to make sense for everybody. But you see how easy you brought that up in there. And whenever I have a leftist person on here, they never bring anything of facts and concrete stuff that says, let's have a conversation. Let me tell you this. What was your name again? John. Okay. Oh, look at that. I remember. Listen. I want to tell you this. When people say they want to debate me, and maybe I'm just a bad guy, I guess. However people want to look at me. If I am going to debate you, okay, first of all, I need to qualify you and qualify myself and see how we're going to debate each other. Okay, what are your values? Are you a conservative? Because as a Democrat, I'm still conservative. I still believe in God. I'm not a Marxist. I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist. I'm an American that believes American first. So we have the same policies. Okay, check. We have the same moral standards. We have the same moral compass. God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Exactly.
They're the one true God. Okay. Well, I don't agree on taxes. Well, I do. Well, let's debate. You see the difference? Like, if you already tell me I believe in the devil, and I say, well, I believe in God, well, we're never going to debate. I'm not here to convince you. True. I want you to beat me at doing something better for my people. Well, our people. Right? That's what the whole Democrat-Republican Party used to be about. We used to have very, very similar, policies and goals. The biggest fight was never to change our culture to Eastern culture, to Islamic culture. It was never to do that. It was, John, you tell me that you can beat me. You know, now you can be a born American citizen here. I am a migrant. Here's the difference. I am a migrant who respects the law, believes that law brings order. I came here with permission. I got authorization to stay as a permanent resident. I waited my time to become an American citizen. And when I made my oath went like this. I hereby declare an oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and adjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or a citizen of. And when I make that oath, I am now an American citizen with the right to vote, which makes me, we the people that can put federal government in office, politicians in office. And now you and I have the same values. Why? Because you respect the law, you believe the law brings order, you believe on securing the border. Well, how are you going to do it? Beat me, John. That's it.
Right? And you see, if you're an immigrant, that's what we want as Americans. People that love our country, that want to be here, that want to, follow our Constitution.
Correct.
We welcome you with open arms. Absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah. No,
it's the people that just come here that want to just take advantage of our system, that have, they don't want any skin in the game, and or just that's just what annoys a lot of Americans.
They say they want the American dream, but all they want is to be sucking on the tit of the United States of America.
Exactly.
And that's not what we want. You know, when you're a visitor here, and you apply for staying here, you get a Social Security assigned to you. Okay. But the Social Security, now that is your permanent Social Security. If you become an American citizen, that is the Social Security. But it says on the card, not permitted or authorized to work. It's very clear. A lot of people would clear that out and make a new card and then commit fraud. We waited until there was actually a permit. They give you on your, like for me was a Honduras passport. They give you a green card stamp saying that you are a permanent resident, valid for 10 years. Within weeks, couple of months probably, we got the green card so that we can actually have the card, right? And then, it's like, it's so good to be able to bring, I will say this, even though I come from Honduras, I came here respecting the law. Do you know what do you know what people think about Honduras?
If I was going to become a citizen of Honduras, I would want to first, one, learn the language.
Absolutely.
Number two, learn how you govern and how you conduct yourself on a daily manner before I would ever move there,
Correct.
Or try to apply for citizenship.
Or to stay there permanently. You definitely want to go visit, but to move permanently, that's the big step. And I think that's the beauty of this country. But one thing that my mom told me, we do not come to the United States to be sucking on the tit of the United States. We are here. We are going to be Americans, if that's what we choose to, because I chose to be an American. My mother didn't make me. But she did apply for my green card. And my mother became a citizen, and she always worked with a permit. She got permission to come and work, not just to be here, but to stay here and work here, sponsored by my sister. The whole thing happened, right? But, she waited 5 years. She waited until she got her green card. And then she waited to get her green card and apply for citizenship. And then she came back for me. We went to the embassy 3 times. They denied us twice. They said, no, you can't go. And my mom is like, but this is my son. This is my baby. I got to take him with me. And they say, I'm sorry, you can't. And so we have to go get a physical test, a vaccines updated, etc. And then we came back, and they check all the paperwork. Okay, come back at 4 p.m. My mom already cried because she knows what that means. It means that we got it. It means that we got it. Cool. Yeah, and it's an amazing feeling. But just like I don't envy rich people Don't get me wrong. I think it'd be amazing if I was rich. Absolutely. But I know how to use my money, and I know I want to help a lot of people. But I'm not envious, nor do I blame rich people for being rich. They can be billionaires. That's so what? So can I if I knew the key. You know, some people are born into a rich lifestyle and become bums, homeless.
Right.
And there's other billionaires that become bankrupt and they never come back. President Trump went bankrupt and he came back big time, better than before. And so you gotta be able to critically think about what you're seeing in life. And this is something that the generation that we have today, and I'm going to say this, and I know some of my members like to smoke weed, but I'm going to say this. The new generation that we have, for some reason, you remember the 80s? Remember the 60s? The 60s, 70s, 80s? Oh, my God, the 80s, it was...
I was born in the 80s.
Oh, okay. Well, I was born in the 70s. But, but the thing is, like, in the 80s, I was already, in my teens in the 80s. And, and I'm looking at this corruption and drugs. I mean, shoot, for Pete's sakes, Terminator was famous for that. Escape of New York, Escape of LA, drugs, and all these, back then, they were not called Antifa, but that is the same society that we have today, and you have all this. Well, now we have this next generation of purple hair people, and then all of a sudden, these guys are so smart, but so
at the same
time. They're so smart, they have so much information, but they're incapable of creating an ounce of wisdom.
Yeah.
Whew, man. It's too easy. It's too easy to talk with you.
They've redefined truth.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the problem with that is, it's like, with them, they say, so if you say something in words that they don't like, that's violence to them.
Yeah.
That's what blows me away. I'm like, according to them, we don't even have free speech anymore.
Yeah.
And we need to mold ourselves into their identity rather than be our own separate individuals.
Yeah. You know what happened?
Like they're just... What?
You remember the time, or maybe this just happens every decade. I don't know. But you ever hear people saying, I want to be different. And they go out and they just turn out to be like somebody else.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Or they do it for attention.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I appreciate when people come to my channel and give me kudos. I'm a Gemini. I'm a person that likes attention. I like to be told, hey, great job, sir. Good job. I love it. You know why? Because I try harder. When I got hired at any job, they say, how much you want to make? I said, well, how much you're paying? We start at this. Okay, I'll do it. But are you a boss that appreciates somebody that works very hard? That has always been like hand in hand with the pay. Are you going to appreciate my hard work?
They don't even want to work anymore.
Exactly.
They just want to stay at home with mom and dad and
exactly.
play video games.
Exactly.
And try not to, quote unquote, get triggered.
Yeah. June 16th. That is the best time to be a Gemini, and I believe
they'll come out for that stuff and protest and wave all kinds of propaganda, but
You know,
8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what's funny? It's that I don't compare myself to Trump because he's a billionaire, but I compare him and I understand the way he thinks, and it's just crazy because I think the zodiac sign is just for entertainment purposes, but it's crazy how accurate it really freaking is. And I can tell you, Trump's birthday is 2 days away from mine, and I am just as crazy and direct and as deranged as he is. I am just as crazy as Trump. And again, we're going back to this whole thing with Iran and, affordability. Local government has about 80% to do with affordability, and what the president is doing outside, about 20% increase on that. But I really hope that they have a better plan.
Oh, yeah. One thing I think is funny, I work with a lot of people that are way left libs. And, you'll see every Democrat spew it out that, the rich need to pay their fair share. The billionaires need to pay their fair share. And, I decided to Google that one day.
Uh-huh.
And you know how much, if you took every single billionaire in the United States and liquidated everything, their businesses, their houses, their cars, all the money they have, it only comes to $8.2 trillion. And we're nearly $39 trillion in debt. So
Yeah.
what are you going to do then?
Yeah, we're almost at 40, I think.
There's not a solution, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just, yeah.
I'm a big believer on the.
I think.
Go ahead.
Well, maybe I think as our economy starts to fail, because eventually, because of spending, unfortunately, it's gonna fail. You know.
Yeah.
I think people need to think about putting some of their hard-earned cash in gold and silver.
Well, that is part of the people that can invest. But I have this mentality. Some people say the beehive, but I have the mentality of the ants. The ants, they're not successful because they have all these big ants that fight for them. They're successful because they tackle everything in great numbers.
That's
true. And I feel that when we raise a society, the next generation, and we're teaching them that the reason of their problems, it's a white person problem, a rich people problem. I had a gentleman that, when I gave him the example about the gas, being higher barrel cost, and high gallon gas with lower barrel cost with even higher gas price. The guy said, I can do the math. And it's just a very simple. I'm not telling you to give me a percentage or fractions. I want you to understand that the barrel of oil was 130, gas went up $5.79. And now the barrel is at 95, and oh my gosh, I'm even going to misquote my numbers here, but it was $5.62 at 130. Now it's 95, and it's higher than $5.70. That's what's crazy, and that was too much math for him. I'm gonna tell you, I think that in order for us to help the economy, in order for us to start, not to tackle it completely, but to start tackling on affordability, it's to make incentives for big corporations to create more jobs. Let's bring more ants in, because I'm not going to hate the rich people because they're giving us jobs. We know that if the rich person leaves, what do? Nothing. Get on welfare. There's no jobs. What do? Get on welfare. So why don't we bring companies into our state, provide hundreds of thousands of jobs, and by the way, this is what they do. They blame Trump for jobs lost. Are you kidding me? How are you going to blame me? Listen, John, I'm going to give you $20, okay? This is your allowance. I'm going to give you $20. And I said, this is going to last you for at least a night, right? And you say, sure, thank you, Dennis. Thank you for the $20. And then you wanted this $20 so that you can get this one specific thing that you've been needing for so long, okay? And then you go and play at the video games. And you lost your $20. And then you come to me and say, hey, it's your fault. I couldn't buy my item. No.
You need to get your priorities right?
Come on, you know what I'm saying? Bro, it's so easy to talk with conservatives. I'm telling you. Everybody that you see on blue and green on there that are members, I'm telling you. And there's a lot of subscribers. I don't buy subscribers. I don't buy viewers. If I got 10 people, it is what it is. If I get 3,000, it is what it is. It's so nice to be able to have conversations with people, and the people that come in here just to troll, they think that because I don't agree with them that I block them, but that's not it. It's because they come in here and insult, and they're not paying attention. Like I can tell you this, John, we have things in here where, first of all, this is my podcast, right? This is everything you see here. I pay for, right? And believe me. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to sound like I'm bragging about what I have, but I'm going to tell you, it's taken me a lot of time and I've been saving for a very long time and getting things little by little. It's nothing was given to me. No rich person. I don't have this big high paying job. No, just little by little, I've been gathering my skills, my equipment, etc. And my wife is my witness. 16 years with me, she knows what I'm about. And she appreciates it, and I appreciate that for her, from her. But the thing is this, that I'm allowing people to call in for free.
Right.
And I try to explain, if you want to debate me, look what I told you. Then we can debate who can be better. But I don't want you to debate me because you have a different ideology. That's not what I'm looking for in my show. So, I say it. If you want to be a supporter of the far leftists, go support those podcasters. They need your help. I want people that think like I do.
If you do chat with a far left podcaster, you literally cannot get a word in edgewise. They won't even let you.
I tried.
Rebut them, or even when you're. I mean, it's yelling, screaming, profanity, put you on mute, finally hang up on you. I mean, it's just like, what are you?
Look, I'm gonna put him on blast because he was wrong. There's a guy. His name is Santana. Okay, he doesn't like white people. He's a little racist, and he's this dark dude. I don't know what kind of black mix he is, but I put a chat on it because he's talking about affordability, right? And he's blaming Trump. He hates Trump, by the way. He advertises he hates Trump. And then I put on the chat, I said, who is responsible for the state? And he's like, what an idiot, right? He like cursed at me. What the hell kind of dumb question is that? And I was like, you're talking about affordability. Who is responsible for the state? The governor. It's a very simple answer. The governor and the mayors, right? Okay, and then you have the city councils. And so, and then he says, what the hell you? And so I posted another question. I mean, like, for any state. And then he blocked me. Right. And he just cursed at me. And I'm like,
I know.
You asked me a question. I'm trying to give you an answer. And if he didn't see it, that's okay. But if I really cared about him seeing it, I put a super chat on there, right? Because that way I can demand that he reads it. But, people don't want to listen. They don't want to have that conversation. When they come in here, it's like, oh my gosh, like there's a few people in here, I think they're permanently banned because you just can't teach them. For some reason, their glass is full. It's full. There's nothing. There's no room for anything else to go in there. So
I don't understand about these kinds of people is if their ideology is so far left that it's practically communistic. I mean, essentially that's what they want.
But they don't even notice.
Big nanny state.
Yeah.
They want to live off the milk that, everybody working for is contributing to the government so the government can give them their free handouts. But it's just like, why don't you go actually live in a communist country if you think they're doing so much better than we are?
Absolutely.
But none of them ever will.
Yeah.
They'll just.
You know what? Maybe I'm blessed because of that type of history. Because in Central America, I really liked to know things, especially in history. And we have known about a lot of communist countries like Nicaragua, Cuba, and the horrible way of life, which, by the way, people can still have a good life in those countries. Okay, I'm not saying that they're dead people. No, they can still have good life in their countries, but the communism is a destructive sort of government.
Absolutely.
And I've been able to see that.
If the government thinks you're a threat, then you're either reprimanded or eliminated, so.
Correct. Yeah, you have no freedom.
Yeah, there's no freedom.
Yeah, they don't even allow Bibles in Nicaragua. Did you know that? That's crazy.
Oh, man, that's horrible.
John, thank you so much for calling. Been a pleasure. I hope that you come back and watch my channel, and please give me another call.
I sure will.
We'll try to make it shorter, but thank you so much for talking with me. Appreciate you.
Yep, thanks. You too.
All right, be blessed.
Yeah, bye.
All right, and that was my last call. Man, I wanted to show you guys a couple other things. I think we'll probably cover up maybe tomorrow. We can probably cover up some of the things that I wanted to show you and share with you. It will be a day late, but you know how we do. We got to hit it hard every day. So I hope that you will join me here tomorrow. Sometimes I will try to do it earlier than I started today. All right? I promise. Now, if you are on the... Hey, Baba, I see you, man. Good to see you in here. Thank you so much. Hey, Tanya, love you all. Thank you all for being in my channel. God bless every single one of you guys. Listen, I try to do my best. I can't answer everybody's questions. I am not a genius. I'm just a working American. This is my hustle. Guys, I can't do this show without your support. So thank you for those of you who have become members. Cutting Edge always, as always. Thank you for the supers, bro. You keep me going, Tanya, and everybody else that comes in here, guys. Listen, don't worry about Romeo. I'm going to get my haircut very soon. It's going to go away completely. There's a deal that I made with my wife, and I'm going to cut the long hair off. So I hope that makes you happy. Anyways, guys, it doesn't matter. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, Romeo. Thank you guys for being here. Man, much love, Tanya. Much love to you. My wife says, love you, Tanya. Hope you heard that. Cutting Edge, God bless you, man. Man, Brian, Robert, the whole gang. Love you all. Jason, Martin, Jason, Beatrice, all of you guys, man. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Thanks for liking. Thanks for becoming members. I know there's nothing special about hanging out with me too much, but I do want to thank you for becoming members. Till next time, man. You all be blessed. Have a good night. God bless you. God bless your family. And God bless the USA.